We are talking The Boys. This is an 8-episode series on Amazon and stars Karl Urban. Showrunner is Eric Kripke, who you may know from the Supernatural series. You've got obviously Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg in producing roles here, and is based on a kind of independent comic book where we have a world where superheroes are kind of populate the world. They're somewhat kind of like, you know, just established as part of the kind of the life at this point. But sometimes they get careless or sloppy or just downright lazy and end up causing collateral damage and potentially fatalities when maybe they could have kind of been a little bit more careful. And we have a kind of a motley crew of people who want to try and kind of teach them a lesson, stop them in their tracks, so to speak, and prevent kind of any more unnecessary deaths. And this is The Boys, and kind of loosely led by Karl Urban's Butcher character. We have Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son as kind of Huey, who is our kind of our point of view character. Now in the comics he was actually drawn to be like Simon Pegg, kind of a bit like how Samuel Jackson was drawn in the Ultimates comics, or Nick Fury, sorry, was drawn in the Ultimates comics to look like Nick Fury, and inevitably that's what happens in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But in the comics he was drawn to look like Simon Pegg, and although Simon Pegg's probably aged out the role now, he is in here as Huey's dad, which is quite fun. There's actually quite a lot of recognisable names you sort of see in roles here. Obviously you've got Elizabeth Shue as kind of like one of our main kind of like female character here, is kind of like the corporate handler, so to speak, of all these the superheroes. And we have the Seven, which is basically a rough take on the Justice League, and you know, it's very, you have your Superman character, your Wonder Woman, your Aquaman, your Batman character, etc. So I don't want to go too much into the plot here, because part of the charm of this series is there's actually quite a lot of twists and turns. I was surprised the depths of this series kind of had in material. Now I'm aware of the comic, but I haven't actually read it. But damn, this is a great series. I don't really have too much to say negative about this one. If you are a fan of superhero movies and kind of the business side of it as well, the kind of like the looking at box office and stuff like this. Now we've had Avengers obviously become the biggest movie of all time. This really takes pot shots at kind of like franchising and so many things, so many political statements. Statements about kind of like how women are treated in kind of in industry compared to men. This series has its fingers on so many pies, but it is done in a way that seems natural, not preachy, and relevant within the kind of the show. It's superbly acted. The characters are so memorable. We have kind of our Superman character called Homelander, who is just like a despicable kind of character, but you still have a degree of sympathy for them. And what I really like about this show is our apparent good guys are morally grey, and our kind of our bad guys, which are actually the superheroes, they're not all bad. I mean, they have some bad qualities, but they do have some good ones as well, or at least varying degrees of. So it's a really, really good show. The budget of this movie, this series, must be quite high, because it does seem to actually spend a reasonable amount of money on kind of effects and kind of set pieces and stuff like that. So it's done to a quality standard. I've got to say, when you watch stuff like this, it really kind of like, you know, you don't want to watch your network shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow, and because it just kind of pales those ones into comparison. If I had to have one complaint with The Boys, there are occasions where certain characters seem to be having storylines for no apparent reason. In particular, there's a character who's the Aquaman character called The Deep, and he has just kind of like, he has like an extended storyline which doesn't really seem to go anywhere, and it's more played just for laughs, but just seems out of place and kind of taking up screen time, to be honest with you. I also thought maybe Karl Urban's character could have done just a little bit more fleshing out. But overall, this is a fantastic series. Well, even if you don't like superhero movies, I would say, if you can watch this and kind of just kind of get into it, because it's good, just a good story. It's hella violent. I will say this: if you're a little bit kind of on the you know, you don't like kind of extreme stuff, this does go places where a lot of, you know, even films don't go. But I would highly recommend this. It's an absolutely fantastic series. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.